What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy back to you with another video. And today or tonight, whatever time you're watching, I'm bringing y'all a Joker 2 review. Now, I already actually recorded, well, different voice recording for this same video, but I realized how, like, I don't know if I could say this word on YouTube or not, but assed it really was, because it had no structure. So I realized that when I make these type of videos, I'd rather just have it structured now, because that way, well, depending on the video, but for these type of videos, I prefer, or it would be better if I just structure them so that way I could just like have my points ready, and like I don't repeat myself, because in the other one I almost did repeat myself. So I was like, nah, let me just re-record it and stuff. The gameplay is from yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, but yeah, so all I just changed is literally like the recording. But yeah, man, without further ado, let's just literally like get into the video, man. All right. Anyways, there's going to be 4 points, but we're just going to get into number 1. All right. So number 1, why it failed. So I wrote down notes and I'm going to break it down for y'all. So one of the reasons why it failed, bruh, was literally because it was a musical. Like, literally, when it was first announced, and they said that supposedly, or it was rumored that it was going to be musical, not a lot of people took it well, dude. Not a lot of people took it well. Others were excited because they were like, oh, man, it's going to be, like, different and everything. Yeah, like, and so, like, that was very skeptical even from the beginning, so there's that. And I think it was announced in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, the movie. That's crazy. Like 4 years, I guess. So yeah, since like 2020, I believe. But yeah, so there's that. And then another part is because it was completely different, which is, well, musical. Like, in the first movie, it was like, very, well, obviously the second one is dark as well, but in the first one it was very like, like more, I guess there was more action into it, right? Like there wasn't no like, how do I explain it? Like the first one, it wasn't a musical, right? And it had a lot of like iconic moments, like the one with Joker and Murray, like you get what you deserve, and the whole movie, it just flowed nicely, It wasn't like a musical where it was like, oh, like they're gonna say one part and then they're gonna like, start singing and stuff, like pretty much. But obviously, like, I'm pretty sure there's some movies out there where actually like that works well, but I'm not saying it didn't work out well for Joker 2, but I am saying, like, dude, the fact that it was like, different from the first movie is like, I don't think that should ever be the case with any movie. Like, if you already established that your movie is like, just, storytelling and non-musical, or, there's no reason why you should take a big leap and like, just have the next, movie be like completely different from the first one. That is like a huge risk, and on top of that, it's like, it was already, like grounded, like it was already like I said, like established. Like, why would you just automatically take a huge different leap? You get what I'm saying? Like, it didn't make no sense, But another part of that is theatrics. So theatrics is just, very expressive, very like, what we got in the musical, like they're pretty much like expressing themselves, even though they're acting. Obviously, they're still like acting within the movie. You get what I'm saying? Like when it got to the musical parts. So when you seen like, them singing or like them dancing, or them like just looking at each other, or like, it's almost like acting within the acting, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with theater. Yeah. Pretty much it's like people like express, kind of like a play. I'm pretty sure you guys know what a play is. Kind of like a play, like Romeo and Juliet, pretty much like that. Like, if you ever seen people on stage and they're like, acting out, and like that. That's pretty much what this movie is, and obviously music behind it as well. Now, Next part why it also failed is because in Joker 2, spoilers, but I should already have it in the thumbnail. You didn't realize that yet, but spoilers. There was no buildup of Harley Quinn and no buildup of Harvey Dent. So, in the movie, in Joker 2, they introduce us to Harley Quinn, which is has like a completely different backstory, even though it's kind of the same. So she's still a psychiatrist, but she's hiding that fact from the Joker. And she also got into like the asylum on purpose just so she could meet Joker, which to me, it just didn't. Looking back at it now, it just doesn't make sense because it's like, why would you, like, for example, in the first movie, if Harley Quinn, she was just introduced so like fast, you know, and it just kind of like forced in there almost, because it's like, dude, if Harley Quinn was gonna be in the movie, like it should have already, you know, like been established from the beginning. And I'm gonna get into that into the third point, or the third what did I say in the beginning, like there's gonna be like 4 points. Yeah, pretty much. I'll get into that in the third point. But same thing with Harvey Dent. Like it's almost like he was just there just to be there, you know, like we didn't even get introduced to him into the first movie and all that. And you know, like it's like these two characters, since they're such a big part of the Joker, like not necessarily Harvey Dent, because you know he's just another villain, you know, but here obviously he's still like not there yet. But you know, it's still like, if you were gonna include these characters should have been in there since the first movie. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like now it's just like, oh, they're just barely introduced now in the second movie. You know, like it should have been. It's kind of like the Batman. You know, like, all right, we have the Penguin, and we had Carmine Falcone, right? And Carmine Falcone, like right now in the Penguin series, we're getting we got introduced to like the Maronis and the Falcones, but those characters were already mentioned and already shown in the Batman. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, like, you know, it builds it up. You know, it builds up the tension. It builds up like, you know, oh man, what's gonna happen next? You get what I'm saying? So the fact that we barely got these characters into Joker 2 and nobody knew that like they existed or anything, is kind of like, oh man, you know, like it's like not necessarily this connection, but it's like it should have been there. You get what I'm saying, since the beginning. But yeah, again, I'm gonna get into the two characters and the third point, but now we're moving on to the second point, which is my rating. Now, in my opinion, it is an 8 out of 10. Why? I'm gonna get into that. So, as you know, well, actually, as a lot of people may not know, this isn't the first time, not even the first time. It's really not out of character for, let's say, Joker or Harley to, like, you know, be singing or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just not out of the ordinary, because we already seen Joker singing in the animated series. The most, you know, obviously everybody knows that. Like, everybody knows the animated series. If not, go check it out. But yeah, so Joker in the Batman animated series, and I'm gonna show y'all 2 clips. And then also Harley Quinn was singing, like, she was actually singing due to the fact that supposedly there was like a whole rumor going around in the Arkham series but specifically Arkham City, where Harley Quinn was supposedly pregnant with Joker's child. Because if you don't know, in Arkham City, spoilers, in Arkham City, Joker died. And, you know, so there was this whole rumor that Harley Quinn was pregnant because supposedly she had like pregnancy tests within the game, and it showed him positive. But I'm gonna show y'all the clips so y'all understand what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all the clips right now, back to back.
Jingle bells, Batman smelt, Robin laid an egg. The Batmobile lost the wheel, and the Joker got away.
There. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna kill for you the whole damn world.
All right, as y'all seen in those two clips. Y'all see how like it's not out of the ordinary for like them two to be like, you know, singing or whatever. At least in my opinion, you know, like when I heard that it was a not necessarily when I heard that the movie was a musical, but you know that they were going to sing and everything, I was like, all right, like at least this was already kind of established before, you know, like it kind of, even if it was like these small segments, you know, like it's not out of the ordinary, you know, like, oh, you're gonna take villains and they're gonna sing all of a sudden, like, you know, like, and especially for a character like, or characters like Joker and Harley, you know, like they're kind of not kind of, but they're completely like insane and stuff, like, you know, like it's, you know, Joker telling jokes and then Harley Quinn just like, you know, like also kind of like making like subtle jokes or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not out of the ordinary. That's why like they're perfect for each other, you know. So again, it's nothing out of the ordinary, you know, it's kind of already established. And yeah, I don't know. I when like, you know, I seen them singing or the way they were acting and everything, it just reminded me of like, you know, the animated series, and it reminded me of Arkham City, you know. So again, like I thought it was cool. I don't know. That's just me, you know. But now let's get to even more further reasons. Now, the acting. The acting from Joaquin Phoenix, 10 out of 10, as always, man. Even though, you know, reportedly it's a very bad movie, you know, it's understandable why people might think that. What's it called? It's his acting, like, it, you know, it's just like the first, you know, like he didn't, like, you know, half-ass it. You get what I'm saying? Like, he still went in. Now, as far as Harley or Lady Gaga, I want to say this casting was just kind of like weird in a way, but at the same time, no, because I mean, the singing part, she did her thing, you know, she did her thing, in my opinion. And then, but in the very beginning, when we barely got introduced to as her, the acting right there was just kind of like, I don't know, you get what I'm saying, from the very beginning. But as the movie went on, I'm like, all right, you know, it got a little bit better, you know, so there's that. And next, the cinematography. Dude, there's still a lot of iconic shots still in the Joker 2. You know, we still get Joker, like, you know, in those iconic stairs from the first movie, at the very end. And then there's also that shot where he's like about to sing, or even like him like smoking, how he like throws his arms in the back. I don't know, I just think that's very like cinematic and stuff. You know, like I might show some pictures on the screen and everything, just so y'all understand what I like am referring to. But it's still very cinematic, you know. Even you know, they're, like I said, the acting, even their dancing, like Joker, I like how he danced when when they were about to sing like, I'm gonna build us a mountain. I like the music. That's another thing. I like the music, dude. The music was solid. It wasn't no weird, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I like the music, man. I don't know. That's just me. I like the music. I like the dancing. And, you know, even in the movie, it still had the shock factor, you know? Like, it's still, there was parts in the movie where it was still like, oh my goodness, you know, like, holy, you get what I'm saying? Like, just like the first one, when everybody was shocked that, like, literally Joker pulled out the gun on Murray on live TV, it still had that in the second movie, you know? It's still, you see the people with the chaos, or even when the bomb went off in the court, you know, it was still like, damn, you know, like, I wasn't expecting for that to happen, you know? I was just like, damn. And then how Joker was like kind of like the only one that survived, kind of, even though Harvey was still kind of alive right there too. It was still shocking. I was like, damn. And just the realism of it, man. Like, you know, it's like when he was in the asylum, you know, he like was physically abused, and, you know, like, he was just not mentally well, you know, when that reporter came in and like tried to interview him and try to get like questions out of him, even though he kind of seemed like very uncomfortable. It's still like, you know, it's still like, it was that raw feeling. You get what I'm saying? Like, when he like bursted out saying like, hey, how about like me now? You know, like, I wasn't doing good back then, I know that, but what about now? You know, like, Joaquin Phoenix literally delivered on that, you know? Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, literally just see the movie, like, you know? But again, you don't like musicals, you don't want to waste your time, that's fine, you know. But at the same time, it's like, look, don't call something trash unless you literally watched it, you know, or you gave it a shot. You get what I'm saying? Because that was even me. I was seeing a lot of comments, or before I even seen the movie, I was like seeing a lot of comments, a lot of like different clips where it was like it seemed garbage, you know, like because they would obviously they put a caption and then they show the clip. And nowadays it's like, dude, people just make fun of whatever for like whatever reason, you know, and it might make somebody think like, oh my goodness, like I'm not gonna give it a shot because it's trash, and because everybody else is saying it's trash, you know. So it's like this movie is a perfect example of like literally go try out something for yourself before, you know, you make a comment on it. You get what I'm saying? So whether you completely think it's trash, whether you completely think it's like amazing, you know, that's fine, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like everybody got their own opinion, you know, just like the Batman 2022. Some people are saying it's peak. Like me, dude, that movie is like an 11 out of 10 in my opinion. And other people are saying it's garbage. So it's like, you know, it is what it is, bro. Like, you got your opinion. It is what it is. But yeah, so that wasn't what I just said right now, wasn't a part of the number 2, but I just want to get that out the way. You get what I'm saying? But now another thing is that Joker came into terms with himself that, you know, he was just putting up this act for everybody to kind of accept him. You get what I'm saying? So that was another reason for like a shock factor. Like, after the security guards did something to him, I'm gonna just say that because I can't say that word on YouTube. After the security guards did something to him, you know, it literally like broke him even deeper than what he already was dealing with. You get what I'm saying? So when that happened with the security, he realized like, yo, like, you know, he doesn't want to live this life no more. You know, like he doesn't want to put on this act in front of everybody so like they could accept him. And because, you know what I'm saying, like if you've seen the Joker too, like you've seen him like putting on the makeup and everything, and like even acting out in court just so everybody can like, you know, applaud him and all that. But it's like in the end he really just realized like, you know what, like since I'm gonna die, you know, regardless, because he was gonna get the death penalty, since I'm gonna die regardless, he's like, no, I'm gonna just say this right now, you know, I don't want to be the Joker anymore, you know. So again, adding on to the shock factor and Joaquin Phoenix acting that out, amazing, dude. You know, like it was just like, damn, you know, like I felt for him, bro, because I'm like, damn, dude, like he went through hell, you know, like he was really just sick, you know, he was really, really sick, you know, and like he really just had a bad day ever since the first movie. So it's like, bro, I can also relate to just having a bad day. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, dude, sometimes, like, it's just not it. You get what I'm saying? You have your days where it's like, dude, I just don't want to be here no more, or, you know, I hate it here. You get what I'm saying? And you have your others where I'm like, damn, dude, like, I'm glad to be alive. You know, I appreciate life so much. So it's like, that's why I love these two movies, you know, especially the first one. But, you know, the second one as well, because it's very, like, artistic, in my opinion, you know, like with the music and everything. And again, regardless what you might think, bro, I found it artistic, you know. At least, you know, the director tried something different, you know, whether nobody liked it or some people like, or, you know, whatever it is. To me, bro, this is just to me. I liked it, you know. I liked it. Oh, well, it is what it is. Now, number 3, what could have been done differently, bro. So, the obvious fact, should have never been a musical, bro. Never been a musical. Instead of music, in my opinion, again, I'm not no director, no, but instead of in my opinion, bro, instead of like the music and all that, it could have showed like cutscenes, or it could have showed scenes where like, you know, he was growing up, you know, like it could have showed him from like, you know, from being a kid all the way up to a teenager, or all the way to like, you know, being like a grown adult. And they could have showed him like, you know, being bullied or something, or like, you know, just being abused at home, you know, like just going through it, man, you know. And I feel like that would have made such a huge like difference and made a more even more relatable impact on the audience. You get what I'm saying? So the viewers, because it's like the thing about movies, bro, it's like, okay, one, it's like, all right, so people love, the characters within the movie, right? But the next best part about characters is the fact that people can actually relate to those characters, whether it's like an insane character, insane strong character like Hulk or something. There's some like, in the first Avengers, he was talking about how like he almost like shot himself in the head like twice or like survived it or something like that, right? It's like maybe there's somebody that watched that movie that might have done the same thing. Maybe they almost like ended it. You get what I'm saying? They almost off themselves, and they're like, oh man, I can relate to that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if we really, because even in the first movie, he was going through documents to find out about his past, like what happened, like, is his mom lying to him? And it turned out she was, because again, she didn't tell him the full story. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, in the second one, like, for example, let's say like in court, like in court, when he was like, just kind of like, what's that word again? Just like zoning out. It could have showed a scene of him like, as a kid, just being bullied. You get what I'm saying? Like that sort of thing. Instead of a musical, it could have, and that way it would have worked, because it's diving more deep into like who he is as a character. And it just would have made a more impact for his death at the end, because it's like, bro, every adult you see was once a child. You get what I'm saying? So it's the fact that it's like they were once a child and now they're like experiencing death or the death penalty. It's almost like you don't even see the adult no more. You see the kid being electrocuted, in the death penalty or whatever or the lethal injection, whatever they might kill him with, right? It would have just made a more bigger impact, So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Instead of a musical, Joker 2, it could have focused more of him growing up, And I'm going to get that, and I'm going to get into the other two characters, which is Harley Quinn and Harvey Dent. Now, with Harley Quinn, what could have happened was that she should have been established from the very first movie if they were going to include her in the second movie, right? Even if there wasn't supposed to be no sequel, if you really wanted like this character to be in the movie, like, it should have been since the first one. Because it's like, look, in her original story, or from what I know, right, she's a psychiatrist, and then she ends up being like, Joker's like doctor, I guess you could say, or psychiatrist, and then she like falls in love with him and she becomes mad, and then she becomes basically like her partner in crime, pretty much. You get what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what happens. And it's like even the title Folie, Deux, it would have made even more sense, because it's madness of two. So it's like she's falling in love with his madness. So it would have just made more sense. You get what I'm saying? Instead of just, like she literally just she was so in love with his image, or like, just so obsessed with who the Joker was, that she literally got herself into the asylum on purpose. Like, what? Dude, like, she's literally a psychiatrist, but now she got into the asylum on purpose? I don't know. That doesn't make sense. She should have just been a psychiatrist since the beginning, since the first one. Like, at the very ending, like at the ending, you remember how he was talking to the lady? That lady could have been replaced with her, which was Harley Quinn. She could have been she could have been his psychiatrist since the ending, of the first movie. And, it would have built up to the Joker 2. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, and even then, I feel like the Joker 2, it should have really just been about him and Harley Quinn, escaping Arkham, and then just living out them two, and like, just their love story, pretty much. You get what I'm saying? And by that, they could have made like this whole movie of them doing crimes, of them doing like, them doing crimes, them doing it while like, being in love with each other. And even it could have delved deep into their toxic relationship. You get what I'm saying? That's another thing. It's like, dude, in the second movie, it could have been completely different. They could have literally made it where it's like they're doing crimes, falling in love with each other, but they could have showed where like it gets toxic. That's another thing, bro. Since the first movie was literally about society and how like unfair people can be to each other, This one, it could have literally been like based on like their it could have made another point where it's like about toxic relationships. You get what I'm saying? Because if you don't know, like in the comics, you know, there's been very different versions where, you know, Joker ends up like, you know, abusing Harley or hitting her or like literally things like that. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it could have just been completely different, bro. It could have had a completely different vision that would have made more sense, you know, instead of it just being a musical. But again, I liked it. You know, again, every director has a different every single one of you that's watching this right now, you literally could have a different idea or a different vision of what Joker 2 should have been, right? And this is just my vision. I'm just telling y'all, like, you know, in my opinion. Now, even with Harvey Dent, you know, Murray, I was just thinking like, and this is coming from my notes, but I was saying even Harvey Dent, like he was just placed in Joker 2 just to be placed in there. You get what I'm saying? Like, even though he's like the attorney or DA and all that, like, bro, still, like, we didn't even know about him since like the first movie. Like, you know, he could have, in the first movie, he could have came out, or, you know, they could have showed him a scene like in the news talking about like the madness that's going on in Gotham and like, you know, what he's going to do about it. And that way it would have built up to Joker 2 and we would have seen. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, bro. But I was also thinking like it would have made much more of an impact if like y'all seen how like Murray died in the first movie. Maybe that could have been a family member of Harvey Dent's. You get what I'm saying? So that would have even made more sense for him to go into the court with Joker and really just hate him and really just, you know, it could have just been a bigger. It could have been a how do you call it, like. It could have been like kind of like the Penguin was going on right now, like with Sophia and Penguin, obviously. With Penguin, it's like, all right, he's on the come up and he's trying to get everything for himself. But you see him that he like did Sophia dirty. So now people are also rooting for Sophia. So it's like that's how perfect like storytelling is. It's like, okay, on one hand you have Sophia, she was treated badly and like, you know, like everybody around her did her dirty pretty much, and like she suffered, you know, for no reason at all. Then you have the Penguin where also like he's trying to help his mother, and it's like, damn, dude, like you see these two sides and you understand like they're two sides and you're like, damn, like what's gonna happen? That like that's the thing, is like, dude, you get into the story and you wonder what's gonna happen next. That's exactly what a story should be able to bring your viewer back. You get what I'm saying? Like, keep wanting more. That's what makes perfect storytelling. So if it was, for example, again, if it was one of Dent's family members, which was Murray, you could have seen him why he would hate the Joker, you know, but then again, like Murray also made fun of him and all that, but at the same time as Dent's family member, you know, hypothetically speaking, and Joker, you also feel bad for him because, you know, like all this happened to him, but you understand why he did those things. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, it just would have, like, you would have understood both sides even more, you know, other than the fact that, or then it's just right there. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man, there's that. Now that was the end of, you know, the third part. Now, final thoughts, which is the fourth point, which is the finale. No, I'm playing. All right, man. So I didn't write down anything for this final part other than literally just the title, which is Folie or Deux. So Folie or Deux literally means the madness of two. So the reason why I also really like the movie, again, these are my final thoughts, like, you know, the reason why I also really like the movie is because, you know, Joker, you know, like in that one scene where he's looking up at the TV and people are saying, he's looking at the TV and I think it was announced that he's going to get the death penalty. You hear the other prisoners talking about like, oh, how do you feel now that you're going to get the death penalty? You're going to die, you know, people commenting on it. And then Joker is like, oh, I never felt so, I believe he starts singing like, oh, I never felt so not alone anymore, I believe, or so alive or something like that. Because before that, obviously, you see him meeting like Harley Quinn. And it's like, that's the thing. It's like, dude, for someone, it's like he he just wanted to feel loved, you know? Like, he was abused as a child. You know, he just, you know, he was just so hurt inside. Like, you know, you could just tell, you know, that's why he went insane. That's why a lot of people in real life go insane, you know, like, he just really just wanted to be loved. He just wanted to be cared for, you know. If he received all those things, or like if somebody was really there to like hold his shoulder and be like, hey man, like I'm here for you. You get what I'm saying? Or like really just support him, like, you know, he would have just never felt alone from the beginning, you know. And now the fact that he found someone that's as insane as he is, or, you know, that's willing to like give his all to, or what it feels like at first. You get what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't feel alone anymore. You get what I'm saying? So there's that. And it's just like, I kind of related to that, you know, because it's like, I was like, damn, dude, like, you know, if for example, like an introvert like me, you know, who doesn't really like mess with anyone, or like, you know, like, I just don't really, I'm just careful with whoever I give my energy to, right? It would also be nice to have someone understand. That's the thing. It's like, dude, I feel like with anybody or everybody on the world or in the world, it's like people just want to be understood. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like nobody truly wants to be alone, bro. I'm gonna just tell y'all right there, right then and there. Nobody truly wants to be alone, but they probably just want to be alone with someone who understands them. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I like that connection, you know. Like, I thought it was just like very, God, I don't even know the word for it, bro. I related to it, bro. Or I just seen it from a different or deeper perspective. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why I also love this, you know, because it's like, man, like, you know, a man really isn't supposed to be alone. You know, me reading the Bible, again, I don't want to get too religious in here, but even reading in the Bible, you know, it says like, oh, a man should never be alone, or it's not good for a man to be alone, you know, like, you know, a woman was made for us, man. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the thing, bro. It's like, you got your homies and everything, right? But it's like, it will never be the same connection as you do with a woman, you know, a man and a woman, you know. It's just, there's a deeper connection there. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, two different, not saying two different, you know, genders, but just two different minds and just beings, you know, because it's just how, you know, the world was made, bro. You know, we're made for a woman and a woman's made for us. You get what I'm saying? But again, I don't want to get too deep into that, even though I did get a little bit deep into it. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't want to start a freaking fire or something under the comments. No, I'm playing. I'm just playing now. But yeah. So that's pretty much it, man. Like, you know, I understood it on a deeper level. But yeah, man. That's pretty much it for the video, y'all. I hope it was very well structured. I believe it's very structured, you know, like, again, it wasn't the half-ass recording that I did last one. The other one was literally like, I believe like 22 minutes, but this one's, well, obviously past 30 minutes, you know, but, and that reminds me, now I'm gonna have to record extra gameplay. But it's all good, man. I got it. No worries. But yeah, man, I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank y'all so much for watching, bro, as always. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank y'all if y'all watched this whole thing. It was, you know, awesome to talk about. I like talking about it, you know. But yeah, man. Once again, love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Hope you have a good rest of your day or night, whatever you got going on. Take care, man. As always, it's been your boy. And I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace out.